how to get your cleaning business from $10,000 a month to $50,000 a month or more in monthly revenue. So I come across lots of cleaning businesses that get stuck around that $10,000 a month range. And what is clear is that what got you to that level isn't going to be sufficient to get you to that next step, to get you towards that $50,000 a month level or more. So my name's Sean. I work with cleaning companies right from startup stage to those generating many $1 million or more every single year through my agency Project 83. I'll leave a link in the description for those of you that are interested. So $10,000 a month, how would you have got there? So you've probably focused on a single marketing channel. Maybe it's running some Google local service ads. You're probably relying quite heavily on client referrals and word of mouth. Maybe you are a solo cleaner, or maybe you've got one or two other cleaners under your belt. So in theory, as a solo cleaner, you could get to $10,000 a month if you're serving recurring clients. You're probably pretty capped out at that stage. And maybe you've got a friend or a couple of referrals that work with you as well. So getting to that $10,000 a month level probably relies a lot on your existing network. But to go from $10,000 a month to $50,000 a month, you're going to need a lot more structure. So broadly, there are three things that I see from those successful businesses that make that transition from 10 to 50K a month or more. So firstly, it's really getting much more structured with marketing. So as I said, maybe you've put a bit of money into local service ads, or maybe you've pumped some money into meta ads. Maybe you've got some friends and referrals floating around. But with going to that next level, really, you need a lot more client leads coming in through the door. You need more booked clients. You need more revenue. So you need to be much more structured with your approach to marketing. You need to be trying all the different offline channels and online channels. You need to be running Google ads. You need to be investing in local SEO. You need to be trying some meta ads. Maybe you need to be putting some money into flyering. And really the important thing here is you need to allocate some funds to all those different marketing channels. You need to track the performance of all those channels, and you want to rank those channels from those that are generating the best return on investment down the line. And you want to max out the highest ROI channels first, and then go down the list according to how much lead volume you need. Check out, I've got a free PDF which goes into the top 20 marketing channels for cleaning businesses. So I recommend that you go through that list, try all of them, put a bit of money work to all of those, and track which are performing best for your business. So I'll leave a link to the PDF in the description below. So number two is that, as well as investing and being more disciplined and professional around your marketing, you need to use that same approach with recruitment. So having a friend working alongside you is not going to cut it if you want to hit $50,000 a month. So you need to approach recruitment in exactly the same way as you approach your marketing. So you need to test different channels. You need to be putting money into Indeed or Facebook or whichever job post and website there are in your local area, and you need to be tracking how many applicants you're getting for your spend. So what is your cost per application? You need to be tracking your cost per interview. How much does it cost? If you put $1,000 into Indeed, how many interviews are you getting? And then out of those interviews, how many clients or how many cleaners are you onboarding? So in exactly the same way in terms of your marketing, you should be tracking your cost per lead and cost per client acquisition. You need to be applying that same methodology to recruitment as well. What is your cost per application? What is your cost per interview? What is your cost per onboarded cleaner? And you want to be using the same approach with different job websites. So put some money into Indeed, put some money into your other job websites in your local area as well, and calculate what channel is getting you the best metrics for your cost per interview, cost per onboarded cleaner, and then focus on those channels which are getting you the best results and move down the list. Keep putting money in down the list if you need more and more cleaners. So getting structured and disciplined with your marketing and recruitment is a big difference that I see from those people that get to that 10K and end up sort of capping out at that level, and those that kick on towards that 50K a month level or more. So then point 3 is then putting it all together by bringing in an office manager or a virtual assistant. So it is likely that when you are running your cleaning business at the beginning, if you're doing a lot of the cleaning at the start, you will probably also be needing to spend time, managing the business. You'll need to be taking client quote requests. If you've got cleaners working with you, you'll need to be sharing feedback with them. If you're trying to recruit new people, you're going to be, running interviews and getting back to new applicants and things like that. So as the business owner, you're going to be doing a lot of the management, the day-to-day services. So that doesn't leave a lot of time left over in the day to think about how you actually grow the business. This is a really important thing to think about, and a key theme of the book, The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber, a fantastic book. I would recommend that everyone reads that. And he talks about spending time working on the business rather than in the business. And what that means is that regardless of the type of the business that you run, particularly early on, you will likely be very busy running the day-to-day operations of the business. That doesn't leave a lot of time to think about, how do I grow this thing? Do I need to put some money into Google Ads? What should be my SEO strategy? And if you don't have a lot of time to think about how you actually grow the business, funnily enough, the business isn't going to grow. So the way that you free up the time is by extracting yourself out of the day-to-day operations. You don't need to do it completely, but freeing up even a little bit of time every day or every week is going to help you, because you can then focus on how you grow the business further. And this is where a virtual assistant or an office manager becomes particularly important, because you can get them to do some of the day-to-day operations for you. So the way that I would recommend you bring in a virtual assistant into your business is not bringing someone in full time. This is a big cost burden. It's completely unnecessary. The way you want to think about it is you want to start off by thinking about what are the repetitive tasks that you do in your business every day that you think someone else could do. The easy way to do this is just to pull out a Google document and just start jotting down the sorts of things that you do on a day-to-day basis. So it'd be, you're getting back to new clients who are looking for quote requests, or it might be following up with existing clients for feedback, or following up with existing clients who haven't paid yet. Maybe it's running through cleaner applications, or booking them in for interviews, or onboarding them, or there's lots of different things that you do on a day-to-day basis as the business owner. So I would say open that document up and just jot down the types of things that you do over the course of the week. And you don't go into huge amounts of details, but it might be, say for example, quoted for 3 clients today, or dealt with 1 client complaint today, or ran 2 cleaner interviews today. Once you have that in your Google document, you can then see much more clearly where is the time going out of your day. And I would take these tasks, I would then categorize them. It might be client quoting, it might be dealing with feedback, it might be onboarding new cleaners or cleaner recruitment. And then think about what are the lower value tasks that you could get someone to do that if they went wrong, it wouldn't have a hugely detrimental impact on your business. So it might be following up with new clients that haven't paid yet, or it might be getting back to new cleaners to book them in for that first interview. If they don't do it exactly right, it's not going to cause a hugely detrimental impact on your business. The converse would be, let's say you had one of your most important, highest paying clients and they've got a complaint, and you've got your VA to follow up with them. If they don't follow up in the right way, they run the risk of cancelling, being unhappy, leaving you a bad review. So, that would be an example of a higher risk task. So what I would do, put together that Google Doc, categorize them, and think about, okay, these things in my business take a lot of my time. I could get someone off one of these freelance websites like Fiverr and hire them out, for a few hours a day to just help do those tasks for me. And by doing that frees up your time. You're obviously paying that person, but what you'll find likely is that by freeing up some time, you should be able to more than generate much more revenue than you would need to pay out for your virtual assistant. So getting that virtual assistant on board is a crucial part of what I see from people making that transition from 10K up towards 50K a month. And as I said, have a look at these websites, these freelancer websites like Fiverr. You can filter by virtual assistants. You can decide whether you want to hire someone overseas, which probably be cheaper on an hourly basis, or someone in the same country as you'll be paying more for them. There are pros and cons for both, and I go into that in other videos on my channel. So getting that office manager in place is going to be a crucial part of what you do. So once you have these three key parts working in your business, you're set up right to make that transition to that 50K a month level or more. Testing all these marketing channels is going to be really, really important. And what I think you will find is once you go through that top 20 marketing channels document that I mentioned to you before, you will probably find that the best focus of your time and money is going to be on Google marketing, getting visible on page one on Google. And the core part of that is getting your cleaning company visible on the Google Maps section in the middle of page one. This is where 50 to 60% of all the clicks go. So if you have good visibility there, you're going to be set up really well to make that step up to $50,000 a month. And this is what I want to talk about in the next video, is talking about local SEO, how you get ranked in those top 3 positions in Google Maps. I'll introduce the topic and take you through some of the things you need to do to get on the right road to get visible in that map pack. So I'll see you on the next one.